Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm David, and this is David's Kitchen. We are making chicken peppers pasta today. 10 meals for $5. And if you've ever seen my show, you know that this is kind of an interesting experience, fusion cooking. Right now, I've got something on the burner in this container right here. I've got a boil going. We're going to go ahead and show you the first step in cooking your pasta that is unusual. All right. I'm going to take a big tablespoon and I'm going to add virtually, I'm going to pull it right out of the container. Italian seasoning. A level tablespoon. It may seem a lot, but this dish calls for it. Going right into the boiling water over here. Got a roaring boil going. Go ahead and put that right in there, like that. Cover it up, let it stew for a little bit. Then I'm going to put some organic pasta. Today I'm going to be using rotini, but you can use elbow macaroni. You can use, even spaghetti will work with this. I'm going to use some organic rotini I picked up with good fiber in it. You want to make sure your stuff has fiber. I got this for $1. It was on sale. So if you look around, you can find things for $1. I bought some chicken breast meat today in a can, and this is sold in bulk at Costco, but you can get these at Walmart for as low as $2 on sale. I've seen them. Normally they're about $2.40, but $2 on sale. And then this item right here is a crushed tomato dish, which actually crushed tomatoes sold at the dollar store, and you get all that, 28 ounces, for $1. This is really a must item, by the way. You're going to be relatively minimal amount of salt. There's about 1,200, or there's about 1,500 milligrams of salt in this. But if you're really salt sensitive, this is a great product too. Tomato sauce to add to it, which is no salt. And this is only 33 cents at Walmart. And if you have any vegetables on the side, by the way, that's one, that's $4, 33 cents. And then if you have any vegetables, you can squeeze in a green pepper, an onion, and maybe a carrot or two to make the rounded $5. Okay? Now, I happen to have some asparagus, which I don't know. I've had it in the cupboard for a while, and I really don't know what it's going to do. But I know it's full of vitamins. And I'm actually going to put this in this dish on a hot pan. You can also cook with fresh basil. You can cook with fresh parsley. You can cook with cilantro. You can cook with beans, green beans. You've got a can of green beans. That would be fine, too. Something to add a little greenery to this dish. Okay, I've stewed that long enough. I'm going to go ahead and add my organic pasta to the boiling water. And I pre-boiled it before the show, so here we go. Get that up to a roaring boil. Take it up to level 5, which is medium on a stove, on a gas stove. And you see all of those herbs are imbuing all kinds of flavor and aroma into the water, which then goes right into the organic pasta. We're going to add all of that container, that whole container. Now, it's important to, of course, work with wooden implements as opposed to plastic, because plastic and water, hot water, I don't know. You want to make sure everything's moving right away. So take a wooden spatula, or if you've got plastic, it's certainly safe for hot water, but I just, I like using wood and stainless steel. Call me, that kind of a person. So we're just going to get that up to a boil again at level 5, and I can talk to the store. The dollar store in my area has gotten better. They're doing a little bit more work with cleaning the floor. That's a nice thing. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know if you're in the Southeast, you're looking for a new home. You're wondering, are you going to keep your home? It's crazy. There's so many people who are, whoops, it's a little too dark, Dave. There's so many people who are right now displaced of their home. I'm sure the motels are booked. Well, that's what it wants me to do. I think the color intensity is a bit much. That's a little too black and white. There we go. Okay. You just bought land in Port Charles. What are you going to do with it? Are you an investor? Or are you trying to, did you get ripped off? I don't buy soda. Dude, don't eat soda. You want to die young, by all means, eat soda. All right. Soda has phosphates in it, which prevent your bones from building good bone mass. The list goes on. Fluoride is a common ingredient in soda. It's put in tap water, and tap water is in soda. You'll notice that soda doesn't have filtered water on it. Look at this is the most important part of your body. You may think it's someplace else, but believe it or not, this area right here, it's called your mouth, your pie hole. And what you put in that has everything to do with how you feel. So sure, I have a big mouth. It's obvious. But I make good use of the food I have, and I make sure I buy it whenever I can, organic and non-GMO. All right. Let me give this a little stir because it'll start to stick real soon. You want to stir the whole bottom after about a minute. Okay, this is kind of an open boil, and it's a slow boil because this rotini happens to be a thick pasta. It takes 12 to 15 minutes in some cases. This happens to be an oat-based rotini, which has more fiber, which makes it cook a little longer. All right, so that being the case, yeah, I think it was better over here. That being the case, we have a situation on our hands. We now have to cut some vegetables. So I get my handy breadboard, which I keep around. And today I'm going to wash all the vegetables. I happened to find a pepper for 50 cents in stores, so I was able to get a pepper. And you can usually buy a can of beans for 50 cents, something near there. I'm using asparagus, and it's going to be weird. I definitely, I'm a little bit worried about it. But when I hit the hot pan with garlic and onion and some of the vegetables, it should all balance out. Hey, good evening, Patrick. Okay. Pat, when you came in here and you called yourself Patrick with a hyphen in it, it's a good thing you did because there's another guy online who is running a slam campaign against me. And I have a feeling it's some sort of a make-believe character some agency is using. The guy doesn't exist. It appears to be some sort of a troll name they came up with. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and there we go. We're going to go ahead and peel the carrot. Carrot's the first thing to cut. Nice peel. Like the little flip of the wrist there. Comes with cooking for 50 years. I pretty much started preparing food at the age of 7, really. But I started making dinners at 10. Oh, sure, you're saying that doesn't take a lot of work to do that. But actually, it does. I used to juggle, too. Little known fact about me. I got into juggling for a while. It's kind of fun to work with my arms and clubs and balls. I didn't think I was going to join the circus, but it really helped with dexterity. All right, so you line all those up. and give them a nice thin slice. No more than a quarter inch, but I'm going to go with a little less than a quarter inch. Always keeping your fingers this way, away from the carrots, away from what you're slicing. A little bit more balanced. All right. Now, the important thing in getting something, this pasta is going to be cooked twice. And I'm going to go ahead and put the compost away. Got a compost heap down here you can't really see. So I guess I'll leave this up here, but there we go. And always rinse your hands off after. Hey, how is everyone? I don't have skin cancer. Thank you so much for caring, though. I appreciate that. Yeah, never eat at a restaurant with a 4-fingered chef. You got to have 5 fingers. I saw Bobby Flay cut his finger on one of these Power Chef competitions. And I thought, wow, that's got to hurt. You know, you're at the top of your game and you're cutting your finger. So where are the carrots going to go? Well, they're going to go initially in the 2 pans. Actually, I'm going to correct that with an executive decision. I'm going to put the carrots into the rotini. See that right there? Because they don't caramelize well. So put them right in the boiling water. But they are full of nutrition, and I've been talking to people online about the difference carrots make for your eyesight. And then some guy said, "Oh no, I got a whole total myth site." They sent me a debunking myth site about how carrots don't really have any effect on your eyesight. And I'm going, well, maybe that was written by a bunch of ophthalmologists that want your business. I mean, really, you seriously don't believe it? I have personal testimonial to the benefits of carrots, so that's why I integrate them into every dish. With pasta, unless I'm going for like a really intense Tex-Mex flavor or something. If I'm going for the spicy, I don't know, carrots doesn't, more poblano peppers and Anaheim peppers. I mean, if you're really daring, you could use jalapeno peppers in this dish to go in that direction. But I mean, you're really putting a spike in your meal, and it could affect everybody eating it going, oh my gosh. And don't ever put seeds in your dinner. Avoid seeds. Sarah instructed me I can't put seeds of any peppers in my dish. All right, we're going to give that one more stir. Okay, and then even though it's fully boiling, everything's cooking right, I'm going to cook it for another 5 more minutes. Rounding out about 11, 12 minutes. And I'm going to turn it off and let it sit for a bit. Right now I'm going to get all these nice vegetables glazed and caramelized in a big pan. Because this pasta will have a second cook. All right. Get down there on the onion. The best way to cut an onion, you've seen, is just slice like this, holding it down, crisscross, and slice that thing up real quick. With the celery, I'm going to go with the sides on. I'm not going to decide or pull the sides off. Sometimes there's a spindly thing on the side of. I'm going to use all of this for roughage. The goal is to add dimension to your meal when a person's eating it. So they're not just eating pasta. And that was the whole purpose behind the $1 can of crushed tomatoes, or diced tomatoes, whichever you prefer. And cool. Okay, I'm going to turn this pan on back here. Go to level 3. on the back burner. And I'm just going to give this a little tug, push. And what I'm doing is I'm pre-cooking everything. Carrots take a long time to cook, so why not just let that boil? And I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to turn it off completely from level 5. It's going to sit in its own heat, and if it sits too long, it'll get waterlogged and start to puff out. And there's nothing worse than puffy, starchy pasta. It's just gross. You want some roughage, and you want some... No, I'm not MK Ultra. You happen to see... you see a lot of the stories on MK Ultra online, and usually every single person who ever was affected by MK Ultra has been approached by some weird guy. And they usually take him into a motel and beef him up with amphetamines and have him recite from Catcher in the Rye, and pretty soon they've got a potential problem on their hands. That's how they do it. It happened with Jerry Lee Loughner, even the guy who allegedly shot the recent congressman, who's still clinging to life. And you need to tell me it's blowing up. Okay, that's the one downside. You got to turn it off, but hope it doesn't pop up. All right. Your father is a kung fu teacher. No, I was never approached by a weird guy, and I've never been in a motel room for 2 weeks, locked up with some guy feeding amphetamines into me. So that's a sure sign you're involved in an MK Ultra situation, whenever that happens. So if say you're disabled, mentally retarded, and some FBI guy pulls you in and goes, "Hey there, buddy, we're going to take care of you." And then pretty soon you're getting jacked up on speed. It starts with snorting lines of speed. Then pretty soon they got you on tablets, and you're just so jacked up you can't even. That's when they turn people into assassins. That's the technique they use. MK Ultra is a very scary science that was developed in Nazi Germany. That's all I know. I don't know any top secret information. That's all public record. 1995, they did the MK Ultra hearings. They had the Congress interview people, and supposedly the government got rid of it. But what happened is the government completely went dark on it, turned it into a contractor-only operation. So there is no government oversight over these programs anymore. Same with Operation Mockingbird. All right, we're going to turn 954 is going to go into the dumpster for being an asshole. And here I'm cooking dinner, and you're behaving like an asshole. You remember that in 1995? Did you read the documents, Dr. Meow? I don't know if Conor McGregor is or not. All I can tell you is he's a happy guy with lots of money. So, I mean, how can people say no to money? Let's talk about how people are being bought off, crisis actors. That's not MK Ultra. That's different. You sign a contract with the U.S. government, it indemnifies you for life. You can go to Leavenworth if you go against the contract. We were talking to one guy in the room last night. He said that his uncle tried to get a job for NASA, and they put some papers in front of him saying he would have to lie. He has to lie, and that he would not do that, so he didn't get the job with NASA. Interesting. So they've got people, once they get them in a contract, they can just kind of say, look, we're going to send you to prison if you don't go along with it. That's why I don't feel too weirded out by the crisis actors that are doing this for money. But serious. Okay, our burner's warm. We're going to go ahead and, on this back burner, I'm going to add olive oil. I use this extra virgin olive oil that I get at... I get this at Costco. Really good deal. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Covers the whole bottom of the pan when it gets hot. Initially, it just covers a small portion, and then it spreads out. See? Slowly blows out. Get that pan sizzling. Then I'm going to add these onions and carrots to that. And I'm going to prep this pepper. Best way to cut a pepper is shear this off right here and pop out the center. And then you can just reach in and grab the seed ball You can put that in your garden if you want. And then give it a little, knock the peppers out. Luckily, there's hardly any seeds there. That's great. That's one of the nice things about these big peppers. They're easy to cook, cut, prep. All right. Cut. Okay, we're going to chop these up in a big way, dice them. Peppers will go in last, but they're going in on a hot fry pan. I mean, really hot. So we're going to throw in the celery, and I'm going to use a little bit more of the shaker top of the Italian seasoning. I buy this stuff in bulk because I use so much of it. I would highly recommend when you see these things for like $3, get them. Save a lot of money on that. Okay, let's go with the onions in the pan and the celery. So I just grab them by the knife, drop them like there, and throw that in there. Peppers go in a little bit later. I'm going to also put garlic in here. So I'm going to show you how I use garlic now. I used to buy fresh bulbs, but if I can buy them in bulk crushed, it's a lot easier cooking. I'm going to go with a little shaker top on top of that, just a light shake of Italian seasoning. Kind of dust the onions and the celery. Okay, that's, wow, perfect. We got Parmesan in here. All right. Garlic. Yeah. I showed you this last week. This is a pretty good way to get it. This is California garlic. Really a good, really cheap way to buy it. I think I bought this whole thing for $5.99. So use some of that. And try to buy your Parmesan for under $3. Look around. They usually are available. I know Trader Joe's sells this one for under $3. All right. To finish dicing my peppers while the onions simmer. Actually, they're basically just cooking slow. I'm going to go ahead and dice this down to 1/4 inch. Very nice. It's always good to have a nice sharp knife as well. So, well, it is better than the powder, but the powder, I'd use the powder. Either way, I would buy local garlic bulbs, but they don't make big, really good elephant garlic in my area. I can't find any starters. Some Parmesan is sawdust, but sawdust is good for you. It adds roughage. I normally would cook with sawdust, but I think it's a little bit, avant-garde. Just throw a little sawdust in the meal. It won't hurt you. It's just cellulose. I don't have the Mike Myers knife collection, but thank you for offering. These knives are, this is a Cutco knife. I use this for fine detailed work. It's a surgical blade. The sharpest blade in the world. You never have to sharpen it. You know what I paid for this knife? If you've seen my previous shows, you know. Try to guess. And this has been in my family for about 60 years. It's a Rogers and Master Gill. Really nice French curl on it, so you can kind of rotate it. Go like this. See how the curl is not perfectly straight? Perfect. Hey, I got to get that water out of there. Take my handy colander here. Flip the camera around. And I'm going to go ahead and run some water down the drain with it so it doesn't have hot water going in. Cools the water off a little bit. Look at that beautiful carrot and rotini. Again, you can use any kind of pasta you want. I'm just going to pop that right back in the container it came in. Because I'm going to keep it hot because it's going to go into a stir fry. Okay. The onions are cooking. I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic. That'll do me right there. That's a lot of garlic. Throw it right down there, and then take that wooden spatula that you're using and mix it all together. Spread it out and distribute it. Okay, now is the time you can throw your peppers in and take your temperature up to level 5 or medium on a gas stove. Distribute the peppers, cover it up. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to get another container. You guys recognize this? This is my my standard for making these 10-meal servings and putting them together and letting all the flavors merge. No, my nail, all I can tell you is I've been cleaning my nails. And even though I've been out waxing cars and things today, I've been, I actually used rubber gloves because I knew that I needed to keep my fingernails clean. The other day I was waxing without rubber gloves on. It was like, man, this wax gets in there. No, I just keep my cars looking like brand new. It's a hobby I have. Joe Biden had a hobby too. He waxed his 1975 Tornado every single Saturday at 10:30 and drank a Pabst Blue Ribbon out in front of the White House for 8 years. No bald spot, no. I have 100% hair. Oh, I work all the time. I don't think you understand. Everything in my life is mint condition, everything. We got 90 million people watching my Supreme food tips across the globe. Welcome, guys. Hey, Politics for Dummies. Look, I could always store my genetic material in a vault in Norway, and then women could go there for samplings of my. But what's the big deal, No, I'm not OCD and I'm not ADD. I'm mint. I'm 100% mint. I'm a mint condition person. That's why I use fruit enzyme to keep my skin supple. And get an instant Dave spa. It's like a day spa, but it's called I call it a Dave spa. Don't patent that name though. Or copyright it, or whatever you do with names. All right, here we go. The chicken is essential, and the nice thing about the stewed chicken is it adds protein, and it's good breast meat going in. Flavors are all 100% top-notch. Every meal that I make has a little taste sensation of hot sauce, too. So I'm going to add a little peri-peri sauce. I got just enough here. I'm going to add a little water to this. Just enough peri-peri from last week for the dish. All right, here we go. We're going to take the water from the chicken and put it right on top of this pasta over here. Drain it right on top of the hot pasta. All right? I know we just pulled the water out of there, but I'm going to add flavor to the pasta this way. Take the can of chicken and drop it right on top of all of peppers. You don't have to do anything, just drop it right in. Super easy. Plop, plop. Fizz, fizz. Then take some hot sauce and put a little hot sauce on top of that chicken. Ta-da. Done. Okay, that's still just sitting there. I'm taking the level up to 5, so it's cooking pretty fast now. Spread it around. Then I'm going to take the tomatoes and go on top of the entire thing with the hot tomatoes. But first, a word from our sponsors. Hi, I'm Dave's psychic companion, and I'm here to say you need to stop calling Dave names and try to be a nicer chap. Okay, I'm going to put the tomatoes back on top of the entire thing has got like a puree of crushed tomatoes going on there. Ta-da! Oh yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty good. I put a little water in the container. Try to get all the things off the lid. You don't want to waste any. Waste not to want to not. And you know something? This is such a nice puree that I really don't even think I'll be needing the tomato sauce from Walmart. So subtract 33 cents from your budget, if you, or add a couple cans of this, or maybe buy 3 of these to replace what I just did. Either way, it's a flexible plan. All right, we're going to throw a little bit more Italian seasoning on the top and cover it up at level 5. Dusting the top with Italian seasoning. Okay, covering everything up. Survey said. Rinse out some cans. Making for a healthy septic system. A little biomass going into my septic system. Okay, asparagus is like, could be beans, could be anything, but you don't want to cook with the water inside of it. But being I have to eat this up, it's definitely going to add a weird flavor to this dish, but I'm not worried about it. I'm going to drain the juices out of it completely. Okay. I'm going to start the back burner on level 4. Or I should say the front burner on level 4 with this Visionsware, which is a Pyrex, completely heat oven safe and temperature safe for a stovetop like this. I'm going to, 3, not 4, 3. All right, I'm going to throw a little oil in that once it's hot. You know, brick homes are dangerous as hell in earthquake situations. People always die from a brick home. I'm going to take a peek and look at this. Asparagus. I can't believe it. I'm going to give it a little rinse. I don't know, man. It's a diuretic, you know. Now this could also be fresh basil or fresh oregano, but not a lot of oregano. But it could be fresh basil you're going in the pan with. Okay, we're hot. I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in the big container. Another 2 teaspoons of olive oil. So a total of 5 tablespoons, whatever, 4 tablespoons. So, yeah, that's intense. That's asparagus. All right, it's a hot pan over there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to put another even level thing of garlic on the glass container. Let that set. Keeping it at level 3. I'm going to lift the back end of this area, and I'm going to scoot this around with a fork and mix it all together. Kind of meld the ingredients, still running at level 5. Cooking very fast, pushing all the peppers together, the onion, the celery, the chicken, and the tomato puree with a little hot sauce. and Italian seasoning. All right. Well, great. I'm going to spread that out around the base of this container, this last thing, so it's even. I'm going to put the asparagus at the bottom of this container. And you can put anything down there, beans, whatever, basil. Basil's the best thing. What you're creating is diversion. Diversity, I should say. We have drop frames to detect it. Okay, we're good. Refresh, everybody. Am I on? Just came back. Okay, good. Right on. Okay, yes. Refresh. On. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Hey, and thanks for hanging out in David's kitchen here. I'm just heating up the base. Ideally, I'd like it to be a kind of a green mash of flavors. So I'm going to add some more Italian seasoning to those asparagus. And all the shaker top things that I'm doing amasses to no more than maybe 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning in the entire dish. The one big teaspoon I started with and the other, no more than 2. And I would have gone for fresh ingredients. Believe me, I love fresh basil. And I was inspired to do this because someone was talking about making a basil rotini in olive oil with chicken. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to go for. But again, I'm dealing with limited ingredients. So I'm looking for just that green color, kind of like a little bit of that touch of green. All right, so once this starts sizzling over here in the back, we're going to turn the other burner off. And I'm going to just throw both of the ingredients in separately, back and forth, onto the sizzle. And then once it's all together, we're going to go ahead and put the lid on it and let it fuse, let the ingredients fuse. Basil Rothbard, yes. I do make regular meals at a lower cost, but what I find is when you make one big meal like this, 10 meals, and store it, you got that to draw from the whole week. And if you got a big family, believe me, this kind of a meal can be gone in 2 days. So that way you don't have to keep making meals. And what I'm trying to urge people to do is prepare food for their lunches in containers. Now, after much experimentation, Sarah has decided this is the size lunch she wants to eat. She's not a big eater, so we could pack more than 10 of these containers away for long-term storage. And I mean long-term. I mean, you could store it in three months in the freezer. So this kind of a way of cooking saves you on all those times you got to go to the, Jack in the Box or Burger King or wherever and spend $6-7 for your lunch. And this is like less than 50 cents. So that's where you're saving your money. And if you do this on a regular basis with a variety of meals that we have on our show here on the network, I'm getting a sizzle finally. You'll be saving a lot of money long term. The important thing about these meals is you're getting starch, protein, and vegetables all mixed in with a certain amount of fiber. And it does the trick. It gets you through the day, and it's tasty. Fresh food is healthy food, yeah. Now, I didn't want to cook with that can of asparagus, but that's why I put it at the bottom. Because I figure, well, if it gets in there and starts heating up on a low flame and pushes itself up through and I mix it in, it's going to be a nominal taste situation. But I'm going to leave it at the bottom for a while so it kind of holds the flavor together. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the process of mixing. So I didn't need this after all, but you can get 3 of these cans at Walmart to make this meal. All right. Yeah, starting to get a little sizzle going here. I'm going to stir the basil, Italian seasoning with the asparagus, kind of meld the flavors a little bit. Bring the camera up closer. No big deal. Okay. Then I'm going to go throw some, I'm going to kind of like make a dinner inside of this big bowl. There we go. I'm going to throw a little pasta in there, like that. Now I'm going to turn the flame up to a level 6. Throw the little carrots in. Throw that level up to 6. Just with that cooking right there. Yeah. Now I'm going to start to sear. I'm recooking the pasta. Yeah, I know. You think it's funny. I know. Then I get a healthy bag of dog food, and I start pouring it in to spread it out. Now I find that dog food is a lot cheaper than a hamburger helper. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, you're so sleepy, really? Probably that chicken you ate for lunch. No, I'm going back into the whole thing with the cook. Yeah. Okay, so then take and move it around. Glazing a little bit. Throw in your red sauce. Portions of your red sauce, which is already pre-cooked. Give it a little stir. There you go. Nice. All right. Then walk around the house 16 times with this pan, and then come back. No, I'm just kidding. No curry in this dish, but that's a great idea. That's not a bad move. I like to put layers of Parmesan in this dish, so this is why I'm cooking it the way I am. Take a little sprinkle of Parmesan in there and mix that around. Okay, that's layer 1. Then go to layer 2. That's a bigger one. More of the red sauce. More of the Parmesan. Turn your flame down to level 3. No, take it to low. Take it all the way to low. Or simmer. Kind of move everything together. And then finish it off by topping it off with the final layer of pasta. And the final layer of red sauce. Okay. Make sure you get all the red sauce. And you don't want to mix this too much. And I got to put water in this right away, otherwise it will harden. Rinse that pan right away. Put water in it. Okay. You just want to kind of nestle it around now that you have layers of Parmesan in there. And kind of bring the bottom up a little bit, because remember you've got a little bit of the asparagus in there. So I guess I could fit 10 of those portion containers I showed you for lunches into this dish. Okay, there we go. And top it with some Parmesan. Now, I don't recommend using asparagus, but I'm dying to see what this tastes like. So I'm going to turn the flame off and just let it sit with a cover on it. Okay. Not bad. I can't even tell it's asparagus. Well, oh, I'm so glad I got rid of that can of asparagus. It's been sitting in my cupboard for like 2 years. Jeez. What are you going to do with that stuff? I mean, who buys asparagus? Canned asparagus. It kind of makes you think that there's green peppers in it. The carrots made the other peppers look a little bit more like peppers. Oh, come on. It was not expired asparagus. I made sure. It was a few years old, though. Who would buy that? It was on discount. You know. Sometimes when you get this ridiculous idea you're going to buy asparagus in the can, you go, oh, no, nobody likes that. Nobody can eat that. I bought that. That's why it was on sale, right? Oh, man, that's good. Always rehydrate with fresh, purified water. You think that's funny? Don't drink sodas, you know? Seriously, if you're spending your money on sodas and going to professional coffee shops and spending big bucks, that money could go to your retirement. It could go to the house you're going to have to buy because you just got flooded out in the middle of Houston. I bet people are ripping out drywall right now. It's just, honey, we get the drywall out, we'll air this place out, we'll keep it, honey. I bet some men are out there right now stripping drywall with crowbars like crazy. Because once that water gets in there, mildew starts. Your house is going to be a nightmare. Yeah. Hey, I know. I used to carry drywall. I did some construction work. It's not easy. I remember carrying 100 sheets of drywall up a two-story house with some guy who loved country music. It was hilarious. I think I earned $50. Yeah, you are poor. You just don't know it. Even rich people are poor. They just don't know it. It's getting hotter? Okay, good. They're going to breach the dam in Texas tonight. I know. It's crazy what's happening. And all of this was geoengineered. That's just so freaky. Cat's tail, why are you speaking in Arabic? Come on, dude. You of all people, you hate that. Yeah, so anyway, I got rid of the can of asparagus, and I would urge you to get beans or something if you have a can, like green beans. Just for flavor, and it's not really flavor, it's more a vegetable. Hey, this has been a really wonderful show. I want to show you what I've got here. A massive dinner for at least 10 servings. Breasted chicken went into it, flavors of the chicken. You notice I didn't drain that chicken juice. I put it back in the pasta. So that's actually protein in the can. Yeah. I use every bit of flavor, but the asparagus juice, oh no, you don't want to cook with that. Even the juice from a green bean can't. It's just pig feet, no, not good. Chicken peppers pasta. It has peppers in it. I put a yellow pepper in it. Yeah, a big yellow pepper too. You didn't watch that part. That's all, folks. We'll see you over in the other show in just a few minutes. Actually, in 10 seconds, I'll be starting up the pre-show. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.